Hey, what's up? It's Valar. Hope everybody is doing awesome. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today's video is just going to be kind of looking at this new fusion that they just announced in the game, Rotos, the Lost Groom, and then also looking at the new champions they announced too. I actually think some of these champions are cool, and I did want to just touch base on one thing as well. On the Raid Pass, I have not bought the Raid Pass, the Gold Pass, and I'm not going to until about March 10th, 11th, because I am sticking to not spending for at least a month as well, if not beyond that. I'm not even sure I'm actually going to buy it. I think it's good value though. It's only $25, and you get a whole lot of stuff, and you get some reasons to grind the game too. It's worth it if you ask me. This and that like gem pack that you get the daily gems with are actually good deals, and they're fairly moderately priced. Like, I mean, you're talking if you bet both those $35, right? So that's like cheaper than an evening of like going to the movies or something like that, or entertainment, right? That'll last for a while. So it's worth it in my opinion. However, I still feel my personal decision, I don't want to spend money on this game right now. Now I have in the past, but right now I don't want to. I want to wait until things stabilize. I want to see how things shake out. Now it's probably more of the same and everything. At some point, I'm not going to quit the game. I love the game. I want the game to succeed. But I also want them to realize, what they do negatively impacts them. And the only way that I have, because I'm not a huge enough content creator to have any direct line to Plarium whatsoever. I have none. I have no contact with anybody there yet. I mean, eventually I might. But right now, I don't have any. So the only way I can cast my vote is personally just not spending. But that doesn't mean that I judge people who do or anything like that. Still, right now, that it's an individual decision. My decision right now is to continue to say that I don't like what they've done. I don't want to spend on it. And if I can't complete the fusion with what I've already got, that's fine. I don't care. That's the attitude I'm going to take for it right now. I'm not chasing it. I'm not spending money to complete this fusion. So anyway, all that stuff out of the way. What I really wanted to focus on was let's look at this fusion, and then let's look at what looks like it's required. It does look like it's except for Azor, 3 brand new epics that were just released today needed for this, and then Azor, who's been in the game for quite a while. But they give you just about 2 weeks, 2 weeks to complete it. Basically, 2 weeks and 2 days to complete it. So, okay, Rotos looks pretty cool. There's going to be a whole ton of events going on. So you're going to be doing a lot of grinding coming up here. Skytouch Shaman, you got a fuse from these. Coffin Smasher. Ooh, this guy actually looks pretty cool. There's some of this stuff that looks pretty cool that even if I didn't get the fusion, I'd like to actually play around with some of the stuff that's in here. So anyway, Fire Knight tournament that's going to be coming up toward the end. Hatchet Slinger from a Dragon tournament. Fencer from this champion training event that's coming up tomorrow. Apothecary. Apothecary from a Summon Rush. Apothecary is going to be fused into this to use for Skytouch Shaman. Oh, man, that's funny. Fang Cleric here. You can kind of read through a lot of this stuff. Artifact Enhancement, Ice Golem, Dungeon Divers. So at least there are events that look doable. Like, I'm hoping there's not like one of these things where you got to go through Fire Knight or Dragon and have a champion drop, because that is just a complete pain in the ass, actually. So let's see. It doesn't look like it. Soulbound Boyer, Dragon Tournament, Dungeon Divers, Spider Tournament, Arena Assault. Oh, God. Oh, Skullscorn. Okay. That's Sewers of Arnok. Okay, that guy is actually just the one that drops on there anyways. So is there... It doesn't look terrible, actually, in my opinion. You got to be paying attention. But at least it's events where they drop, and I don't know what they're going to be requirements for these champions or anything like that. They could be ridiculous, no real idea, but that's okay. And then they had a whole ton of new champions drop today. There's like 16 total new champions, 4 legendaries, and then epics, 4 epics, and quite a few rares actually, like a whole bunch of rares. So pretty good stuff. Just go in here and check out the news. I'll look at kind of the highlights of some of these in the index real quick and give you my opinions. So Bannerlord, continuous heal on the A1. That's okay. Nothing spectacular on that one. This is kind of cool. Heals this champion and the ally with lowest HP by 10,000 HP with a 75% chance to do an AoE heal reduction. So that's kind of neat. You can book it up to 100% chance. It is a one-hitter, but that's all right. But it's a one-hitter, but then has the AoE with the heal reduction. And then heals all allies by 40% of their max HP. Places block debuffs buff for 2 turns on champion for 2 turns on champions under increased defense. If they're fully healed, places a shield. Pretty interesting. I mean, pretty cool. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% when his champion's killed. Revives his champion with 70% when killed with Coronar is on the same team. And then increase ally speed in all battles by 19%. She looks pretty neat, actually. I mean, there's only 2 reviews on her. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be like, well, obviously Fire Knight, she's not going to be great and she doesn't multi-hit. She's going to be okay. I don't feel like it's a necessary chase for her, though, in any way. But I do think she's kind of cool. That's kind of my opinion on it. So, kind of neat. Maybe dungeon waves, things like that would help. This guy's amazing. I already went over him. I love this guy. I want to get this guy. I know he's part of the Battle Pass, so if you get the Battle Pass, you get him. Or if you get lucky and pull him, you get him as well. And then the legendary that we're talking about with Rotos here, let's just look at these two. No, not Dark Elves, I apologize. Undead Hordes. Dark Elves here. Rotos. So what does Rotos do? This guy looks pretty cool, actually. He's a 75% chance to do the decreased defense debuff for 2 turns and grants an extra turn. This guy in Relentless would probably be pretty sick. Attacks one enemy, decreases the target's max HP by 20%. But there's a whole thing in here about can't do it against bosses and cannot increase his champion's max HP by more than 60,000. Does not decrease boss's max HP, but his max HP will be increased by 15,000 when the skill's used against bosses. Okay. So his max HP is only going to be increased by 15,000 against bosses, or is that going to stack up to the 60,000? I'm not really sure with how that's written, but okay. Either way, it's kind of cool. That's on a 2-turn cooldown, too. That's pretty neat. So, the other thing is just places the 75% chance of... Well, it ignores 75% defense, right? So that's really good. And then it'll also ignore unkillable and block damage buffs and grants an extra turn if an enemy is killed. That's actually really, really good. So I do like that. And then his passive... Yeah, I do like this anyway. His passive will decrease damage from a single enemy hit, so the incoming damage will not exceed 50% of his HP. Can occur once per enemy attack, grants an extra turn if the damage reduction occurs. Does not work against bosses. Okay. Decreases damage by bosses by 15%. Decreases damage from bosses by 30% if Sifi the Lost Bride's on the same team. That's kind of cool. He seems like he'd be pretty neat. He does have very low HP. Very low HP, actually. Like, that's some of the lowest HP I've seen. Is that the index? Let me make sure. All right. That's such low HP for a legendary. And I guess they have it that way because of his stacking ability to just stack extra HP on top of himself. But you're absolutely going to need it if his base HP is only just under 12,000. So, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a big knock against him, if you ask me. His attack's really good and his defense is really good, though, but he's also pretty slow. So, I'm not really going to cry if I don't get this guy, actually. He seems cool, but I'm not going to be upset if I don't get him. So don't, kill yourself if you can't complete the fusion, is my opinion. I don't see this guy being that game-changing to me. I could be totally wrong. This guy could just change meta and shake things up big time. But I don't know. I don't feel like that's going to be what happens. And then we got to go to his bride over here, too, the Void Legendary. What did the review say on her? 5s? All right. Attacks one enemy, 80% chance of placing sleep for 1 turn if the target's turn meter is equal to or above 50%. Debuff can't be resisted. Heals all allies by 5% on max HP if the turn meter is below 50%. Okay. Fills turn meter of all allies and places block damage. 60. Wow. That I like, actually. That's pretty cool. On a 3-turn cooldown, that's pretty sweet, actually. Does block debuffs, does increase defense, it does the increased speed, and it fills the turn meter. I don't know if you can use her in counterattack teams because it would kind of screw up the rotation as far as the speed tuning goes. But if you were running a speed comp or something, this is pretty damn strong. For a clan boss, too, because you get to block debuffs off, increase defense, and you actually get the increased speed. So I really actually kind of like that. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool ability, especially that you can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown too. Revives a single ally with 55% HP and full turn meter. That it doesn't do any block damage or anything like that, so I do like it though. Heals each ally by 15% of their max HP at the start of their turn. Wow, every turn. Because this is a passive, actually. This doesn't have a cooldown. That's pretty cool. I like that. So basically, bringing her along is just like having a constant 15% continuous heal on your team. Has a 40% chance of removing freeze and fear debuffs from each ally at the start of their turn. So that counters Torment. Removes all... It counters Torment and, some other, like, Madame Sarah. As Madame Sarah's True Fear or Fear, like Harvest Jack, I believe, places fears. Removes all debuffs from Rotos to the Lost Room at the start of their turn if they're on the same team. So it would be pretty neat if you somehow got them in tandem to work together, if you're lucky enough to pull her too. She's going to be really hard to get, though, because she is a Void Legendary. And personally, I think she's better than the other guy. But the other guy's pretty cool, too. He's just not game-changing. So I'd put him at, like, solid upper mid-tier Legendary in my opinion. He's not top tier. And again, could be totally wrong. Alright, I forgot to show one of the rares. I'm going to go through even the rares on this, too, because some of these rares actually don't look too bad. So I almost feel like, even if I don't get the Legendary, some of the rares are kind of cool to use. This guy looks just disgusting, though. Corpulent Cadaver. I mean, good lord, look at all this stuff growing on him. I got moobs the size of this guy. Anyway, his base HP is really good, his speed's good, and he's a rare, too. But he's got an attacks one enemy, inflicts additional damage if this champion's under a shield buff. Damage equal to 30% of the shield. That's actually how I wish Vala's ability was. The epic for the Amazon Prime, and he's a rare, so that's kind of cool. Based on HP, places a shield buff equal to 20% of the max HP for 3 turns and grants an extra turn. That's kind of nice. Attacks one enemy, 80% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns. So he's single target provoke, and then all defense and all battles by 15%. For a rare, this guy's not really that bad. So I do feel like, some of these characters are actually quite usable. Like this guy, you could single target provoke someone in like Arena or something, and he does. I don't know what his multipliers are or anything, but he doesn't look that bad. So especially for a rare. And then we got some other things to go through. Let's go through the Skinwalkers, because Skinwalkers actually have the other legendary, which I believe is this guy. Yeah, Coronar. Coronar is got a huge base HP, 27,000, 99 speed, pretty nice. And he would synergize in tandem with Manaya. So he's got an AoE that does 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 10. It hits twice if Manaya's on the same team, and decreasing each target's turn meter increases to 100%. Wow, so he decreases everyone's turn meter by 100%? That's actually pretty damn strong. An AoE 2 times instead of 1, and the chance of decreasing each target's turn meter increases to 100%. Oh, I don't know. Okay, this is another thing that's confusing. So is it 100% decrease the turn meter, or it's just increasing this 50% to 100? I think it's just increasing the 50% to 100. Not decreasing everybody by 100%. That would be pretty damn OP if that was everybody by 100%, but I think I just misread that. So damage and it'll be half the damage that you do. Okay. 75% chance of placing provoke on everyone, that you can get up to 100% chance. That's nice, so he's pretty much a tank. And then a block debuffs and increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. I like that, actually. That's actually really cool, because he's an AoE provoker, and on a 3-turn cooldown, and then he blocks debuffs too, with increasing the defense. That's a pretty nice move. Removes all debuffs from this champion before placing block debuffs and increased. So he cleanses if Manaya's on the same team. Alright, so this guy's pretty cool, actually. I would like him. I think he's one of the better ones, actually. This is actually pretty sick, too. So counterattacks when hit by enemy... When hit by an enemy with a decreased attack, a decreased defense, or a decreased speed, always counterattacks if the other girl Manaya is on the same team. But this would be pretty good in Clan Boss. You're going to have a decreased attack and a decreased defense. So basically every time... Well, it doesn't really matter, because on the counterattack rotation anyway, you're going to have it up anyway. So it might not be as impactful as I thought there. But it is pretty cool, actually. I do like that. And then there's 2 passives, right? So this other one places increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns if this champion kills an enemy. That is also pretty cool. So pretty nice stuff there. So, and then we had a Dark Elf. He's part of the fusion as well. This guy right here, Fang Cleric. 75% chance to transfer 1 random debuff from this champion to the target. Heals an ally by 20% of this champion's max HP. Also fills turn meter by 30% if they're fully healed by this skill. Places Veil. And that's pretty good. Revives a dead ally with 30% HP, then fills their turn meter by 30%. Also puts Unkillable on them. And a continuous heal buff. On a 4-turn cooldown, and increases speed in all battles by 15%. This guy's good, actually. I feel like he's pretty decent. I mean, they're not like meta-changing type stuff, but they're all strong. And maybe they are somewhat meta-changing in a way, but this guy's really good for like carry. I can actually see him being good in dungeons and everything too, getting you increasing your speed and your turn meter. Actually your turn meter, but also giving you this kind of backup resurrection type thing. So that is pretty cool. Then we got one of the orcs too, which I believe is also part of the fusion. Sand-lashed Survivor. These names are a mouthful. I pulled Tila Gormain recently, and this skin looks just the same as her, except they put some bunch of armor on her and stuff. Attacks one enemy 2 times, 30% chance of doing a provoke. If the target has no buffs, heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if this champion's under any debuff. AoE decreases duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn, increases duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's not bad, actually, on a 3-turn cooldown. Ally Protect also places block damage for 1 turn on this champion. The Ally Protect is on everybody whenever an ally's HP drops below 50%. That only works if their drops below 50%. I don't like that, actually, because it's only going to work if the HP drops below 50%. Well, yeah, I don't like that. I mean, what if they're not below 50%? Then you're not going to want to have that cast at all. And ally defense in all battles by 25%. She does seem pretty meh to me, actually, so fuse her away. That's just my opinion. And then, let's see, Night Revenant. Night Revenant actually had a pretty good rare that I got on my free-to-play account. So the Night Revenant has this one right here, this new one, Sepulture Sentinel, who I also think is part of the fusion. She does a decreased attack, and she's Force. So that's actually pretty cool, because here's the thing. Almost all the clan boss decreased attack guys that we have are all magic. So this on the A1, which you can get up to a 60% chance to do the decreased attack, is pretty nice. And she's based off defense, has really nice defense, good speed. I actually like that because it's a different affinity with the... Wow, okay, this is cool too. Places increased defense buff and block debuff buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown now. So pretty good. I actually think that would be pretty neat. And then 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when this champion or their allies are attacked occurs once per turn. Wow. She seems pretty beast, actually. Increased ally defense in all battles by 25%. My opinion, she seems better than a legendary. Now, it just could be because I don't really know where I'm going to fit that legendary in to get the fusion. This girl's amazing. I actually love her kit. It's kind of cool, and I could see her being really strong in Clan Boss. That's some really good abilities, and this is kind of interesting and unique, too. And it's just permanently up, too. Why they even have it saying 1 turn, I don't know. Why just take that out? But hey, that's cool. We'll just got a few more here. Let's go over Barbarians. Where are they at? Here we go. So Barbarians have the other one that's part of the fusion, I believe, Skytouch Shaman. I don't really like her, actually. AoE, 15% of the damage inflicted heals by 15% of damage inflicted if this champion has less than 50% HP. Boosts this champion's turn meter if this champion has 50% HP or higher. Okay. Removes all debuffs from allies, then places Revive on death and block debuffs buff on allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. This is the thing that I don't like. I hate these type of things where she's actually getting damage and it's hurting her. Meh. Increase ally HP in all battles by 25%. Fuse her away too, right? I'm not that excited about her. She is cool looking, but she seems relatively useless to me. That is my opinion, though. And I could be totally wrong. So, and then what else we got? One other Barbarian, I think rare. Yeah, this one right here. So I wanted to go over the rares too. Soulbound Boyer, which she's part of the fusion too. AoE, that 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit, extra 25%. One hitter that does 25% more chance of a critical hit and ignores 75% defense. That's cool. One hitter that more critical hit, a 75% chance of fully depleting the target's turn meter. She's actually pretty cool. With a crit rate aura, that's pretty meh. Lower base HP, attack's pretty good, speed's decent. She's a rare. I mean, for a rare, that's actually pretty good. I don't mind her. I think she's cool too. So this is actually a pretty good rare. Man, I'm actually like kind of pumped about some of these rares because I almost feel like I don't really care if I get the legendary now. Just looking at some of this, I'd rather just get all the stuff. And I'm not necessarily gonna try hardcore for that Lego because I don't know where I'm gonna use him. He'd be kind of cool to try out, but it's kind of also cool to try out more of these. And then I think we got 3 more. So High Elves had a rare as well. This one here, Fencer, a decreased speed on a 2-hitter. Stun on a single target, steals 20% turn meter if the stun is not placed. AoE that does decreased defense for 2 turns, that you can book it to 100% chance that gives a 3-turn cooldown. It's basically the same thing as War Maiden, but that's pretty cool. I don't know if War Maiden's chance is a little bit lower or not. She's the same affinity as War Maiden, increases ally attack in dungeons by 23%, but she's cool because that's a rare and that's a useful skill, this A3 here, so I do like her. She's worth actually investing if you don't have War Maiden, but you probably have War Maiden, so because she's completely free. So, and then Dwarves, and I think Bannerlords had one more. Let's see, Bannerlords had a rare that I missed. This guy here, Myrmidon, provoke on a single target if max HP is higher. Meh. AoE decrease attack, smaller version though. Okay. Ally protect on all allies and places a continuous heal buff on this champion for... it's not bad. He's not terrible. Defense in dungeons by 20%. I wouldn't like... He's not horrible. He's a rare, so he's easy to invest in. That's pretty nice. And then the last one we had was, I believe, a dwarf. So we'll look at the dwarves here. This guy here. Cuddler. I think there's actually 2 dwarves. Cuddler and like hatchet thrower or something. 2-hitter that does decreased defense. Oh, wait. 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit if the target has decreased defense. Man, that's pretty bad. Counter attack and increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn on a 4-turn cooldown. Small version of decreased defense. He's pretty meh. He's not that great. This other guy here, Hatchet Slinger, not Hatchet Thrower. 2-hitter. Stun debuff, there's a lot of qualifiers on this too. Has an 80% chance of ignoring 15% of the target's defense if this champion is 50% HP or higher. Okay. Unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. 5% of counterattacking when hit. 25% of counterattacking when hit with a critical hit. He's okay. I mean, I'm not like... He's alright. Nothing spectacular though. So anyway, I'm going to end it there because I've been going on about all this stuff. So please do me a favor. Please like and subscribe. If you want me to pull your shards at all, I'm going to put a link to the Discord in my channel description and in the video description. Come join the Discord. Hit me up with a DM. And if you have some sacred shards pulled up, I've had some really good luck for people getting them some amazing stuff. So I got a Vizier for somebody. I got an Elenero. I got people. They're Madame Saris. Basically, just a good streak, right? So hopefully that continues. And I do have 2 planned already. Anybody else wants me to do them, I'll put them on YouTube and everything too. So I'm not doing my own because, well, I only have 2, and I'll probably pull them, but maybe I'll do them and combine them with like somebody else, but it's only 2 shards. So anyway, thank you very much for checking it out. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with another video. Cheers.